All right, good morning. Today is July 30th, 2024, and we're going to go over the yesterday's price action as well as um, today, today and what's in store for today and what do I expect today. So yesterday I expect expected price to trade into this gap here on both ES and NQ, and obviously we did not do that. We did sweep. We had a shallow sweep of this previous old high, and then we drew lower. Same thing here. Actually, here we didn't, so that is confirmed SMT. And I did point that out yesterday during the pre-market. And obviously, my bias was wrong. Uh, Even with that bias, though, I was able to make a good trade because, again, I did believe price was going to draw higher. So the reason why I went long on NQ, on ES, NQ, same setup, was because we did have this gap here. We closed above this order block, and we closed above this order block. We had this gap here as well with an order block here, and we had a gap here. And previous to this candle had closed above consequent encroachment. So that gave me enough confirmation, enough confluence here to get along. So once I saw that, I started to zoom into the 60. 60 didn't really tell me much. I mean, it did have a gap here, so I did expect for price to respect this gap, even though I knew that price would trade into this gap as well. I was looking at this gap here being the 4-hour, and what I had wanted to see happen was I wanted for this sweep to occur going into the 10 o'clock macro, and that's what we got. We got a sweep into this this low here, violating this dealing range, and price was still trading within the 4-hour gap. Then we zoom into the 1 minute, come into the 10 o'clock macro, and I see that price has already swept this low. Price displaces higher, closes above this order block. Price retraces lower, creates a gap here. Price trades into this gap, displaces higher, sweep in this low here, creating a turtle soup entry. And at this specific time on NQ had only drawn into this around here somewhere, creating SMT between ES and NQ. And so once on this candle, once price closed above this candle, we had a draw higher, and I actually entered right here. I actually ended up covering up here because at this time we had what's the word? Our data was lagging. Kind of like when you're lagging in a video game, your emotions start to flare up, and then you start to realize that you're not playing well. And that's exactly what was happening to me yesterday. I noticed the price was lagging, price action, and ticks were being very slow, and so I did not want to deal with that, and I could feel myself getting emotional. So I went ahead and covered, even though price did draw higher. For me, it was just better to stay away from it as soon as I start to realize that I was getting emotional. I did cover into 6 points, 6 points on a mini. That's good enough for me. I'll take it. Now, why shouldn't I have taken this trade? I shouldn't have taken this trade because price did close below consequent encroachment of this range. On a bullish market, on a strong bullish market, price should have only came down to this area or above consequent encroachment. It could have wicked into it, that's fine, but the retracement low should have only been up to around this area, not this low. So that is kind of a sign that I shouldn't have taken this trade. The reason why this is not the order block is because the whole body overtakes this order block. The body's here, so that's why this to me was order block. On the 5 minute, you had nothing. You had no gap or anything. We did have a gap here momentarily, but because we had a gap momentarily here, but obviously price drew through that gap, and so that's why I shouldn't have taken this trade. Hindsight, at this point, it was was a good setup for me, and I ended up taking it. Obviously, it could have been a lot more than 6 points. It could have actually been what 10, about 14 points really, because price did trade into midnight open here, and this is where I could have covered had I been in multiple contracts, covered some here, some here. So price did continue lower, and I should have seen this breaker here, displacement lower, unicorn setup, beautiful setup here. Now the reason why I didn't take this trade, this the short here, was because my bullish bias. You know, I did not want to get caught in a reversal, and it kind of happened here momentarily, but obviously that didn't. And so I just left it alone overnight. Not overnight. After lunch, I left it overnight. I didn't come back for the 1300 macro, but I did come back for the 1400. And the 1400 macro, I didn't see anything either. There was no displacement. It was just consolidating. But the 1500 macro, I noticed a tiny bit of displacement here, but I did know that if price were to target these highs, then we'd have some sort of move going into the power hour or the last hour of the market. And so I did enter right here, and I covered up here for a 5-point win. Again, the reason why I didn't wait any longer, because we were close to the close, and I didn't want to get stuck in a sell-off like this one right here, right? So again, I took this trade, covered for 5 points. My stop would have been down here. Obviously, the fact that we do have equal lows down here, it's technically I shouldn't have taken the trade. But once you see something and you have conviction on your bias, then you have to give it a shot. And so again, 1 point covered into 5 points. So that's 11 points for the day, $50 a point. It's good enough for me. And Q had something similar. Obviously, I didn't take this one. The reason why I didn't, wait, which long was it? Oh, here it is. I didn't take this long because this was the SMT when I took that long in the morning. Because again, price had already swept this high, and I'm not looking to do that. I'm looking to trade. If this high would not have been swept and the high would have been up here, then I definitely would have taken this trade to cover these highs here. But obviously I did not do that. The reversal here happened during lunchtime, so I'm not interested in lunchtime unless I'm expecting a move during lunchtime, which I have taken a few trades. Last week I took one, I believe, and you can see well, actually I didn't live stream that part, but you can see the review of that one. Again, here, nothing here, and same concept with the 1500 macro. Price displayed higher, covered into, and you could have covered into 50% of this range. So that was it for the day for me, because there was no, because at this point, by this point, I still believe that we would draw towards the highs, but obviously we didn't get that. So the fact that we only displaced higher into these areas caused me to just cover at 5 points. So today, I'm still looking for a move into the gap, and I'll continue to do so until this gap is rebalanced, because price does one of two things. It's always taking out liquidity at the highs or lows, and or it is rebalancing balances. Rebalances. It's always rebalancing unbalanced inefficiencies. There you go. So this right here is a SIBI sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So it does need to rebalance this area before it draws lower. So that's what I'm looking for today. Again, we do have, even though this high broke into this high, I still consider these relative equal highs. Same thing over here. It didn't break above this high, but the highs are similar to each other. So these are relative equal highs for me. And again, I am looking for price to trade into this area and then draw lower. We do have news at 10, jolts and some other crap. FOMC week, so I do expect volatility. On top of that, we have we have what's it called? We have earnings, earnings in the tech sector. And again, the tech sector is one of the biggest volatility drivers in the market during earnings. Uh, Anything outside of tech is not so much, but tech is the big one here. And today we do have AMD and MSFT. So because they trade because the earnings comes out in the afternoon, I won't be trading the last maybe hour, because usually what happens is just like last week during the Tesla trade, not during the Tesla trade, but during Tesla earnings, which reported after the market closed, price just consolidated going into the earnings release. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be trading the last 2 hours, because I do believe the price will consolidate going into the earnings, and then that's when the market volatility will pick up again. But the morning session, I do expect there to be volatility, and thus will offer some good opportunities to get long or short. So if price is still down here in this area, I will expect price to draw higher. So my bias is bullish. If price is up here, then I'm hands off until I see displacement lower on the 1 hour or 15 minute, because I do want to catch the bulk of the move down to target these lows down here, because I believe the price is going to continue to draw lower. So this would be one of my only, a very rare time when I actually take swing trades. Uh, and they'll be on micros, but the fact that they're on micros and I'm expecting 34, about 100 point move, that's good enough for me, because then that allows me to keep up maybe 50, 20 point stop loss on the at the highs. And so that's what I'll be looking for. I'll be looking for maybe take some uh, uh, take some swing trades, as well as as the bulk of my position off once the first objective is met. But the idea is to keep something to swing trade once I notice the intermediate term high get drawn. Because again, if I'm right on the intermediate term high, that intermediate term high is not supposed to be broken. If that intermediate term high is broken, then that means my trade idea is wrong. And who knows, the intermediate term, another long-term high will be drawn within the next few days. But again, I do believe we still have lower prices, and the only way that idea will be void is if price starts closing above this area, above the low of this gap here. Same thing here, above the low of this gap here. So we have a long way to, a big balance to a big imbalance to rebalance. So it makes logical sense for me to get long somewhere down here if I'm bullish. If I'm wrong, then obviously my stop losses will be triggered, and I'll have to call it early and see what price does into the afternoon. But so yeah, I think we did draw lower going into the Asia London sessions. So I do hope that I see some sort of liquidity sweeps and a draw higher. I don't expect search seek and destroy today, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and connect to data and see what transpired overnight. So I'm just waiting for price to connect here. Okay, perfect. All right, so we did break below yesterday's low, so that's a good sign. So that means right now price is seeking internal liquidity at the highs. Same thing with NQ. NQ did sweep the low, so now we are drawing towards the highs. So as it stands right now, the objective are the highs. You got to keep. No, not again. Don't tell me it's doing the same thing. Okay, all right, there we go. All right, so we are seeking towards the highs, and again, I am looking for a long entry today. So I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to leave this one here as well. I got to move the midnight open, New York open here soon. Let's keep watching here. We are still above constant encroachment here. That's a good sign. Momentarily, we are above equilibrium here on the daily dealing range, so that's good. I don't see anything else on the daily. We are still trading higher above extreme discount here, so that's good. That's a good sign. Let's go to the 4-hour. All right, so we do have, on, you can't see it now, but on the 1-hour you could probably see this low, intermediate term low, long term low. So this low should not have been broken, and that's exactly what happened. This low is not broken, so that means that this intermediate term low would be the stop if you were looking to trade higher. And so I'll look at this. I'll look at this on the 15-minute and see what's happening here, because this to me looks like the 15-minute. So we'll see. We'll just watch that. We do have a gap here on the 1-hour. But although the gap is not the candle itself is not closed yet, so we got to keep that in mind. But if I'm sure if I zoom into the 1-hour, I'll be able to make make a good case for something else here. We do have these relative equal lows, guys, swept. So I don't expect price to sweep these lows anymore. What I do expect is I do expect price to sweep a long short-term low. So let's just leave it at that. Prices closing above these down closed candles. That's bullish order flow to me. Yep, that's bullish order flow to me. Let's go to a 60-minute. All right. Okay. Okay. So I don't see anything here, but I do see something here. I see gaps here, and I see gaps here. I'm sure this is not the end though. This is not. Yeah, definitely. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave a a line here, because if price does not come back going into the 10 o'clock macro, if price is trading up here and the 10 o'clock macro comes, price and the 4-hour closes, that means that this gap will remain open here on the 4-hour, right? So if that remains, then that means that price will need to rebalance this 4-hour imbalance. And if that happens, then I do expect price to reverse here somewhere to attack the highs. Same thing here. I'm going to leave a line here indicating if price draws into these lows before 10 o'clock, then that means this gap will close before the 4-hour closes. So that's the idea for now on the 4-hour. On the 1-hour, we only have one gap, so there's no other imbalances here that this price would need to rebalance. So if nothing happens, then I do expect price to come back into this area, rebalance, and then draw higher. Same thing here, come back into this imbalance and then rebalance higher. Nothing else. You know what? Let's add this as the 1-hour order block here. Actually, when you have an imbalance as well as an order block in the same vicinity, you use the high of the candle as the high. But you know what? I feel more safe doing it this way. I've just had more luck highlighting the open of the candles. All right, so let's see here. I'm seeing something on the 15-minute. There you go. Okay, so on the 15-minute, price has already taken this liquidity here. Price has swept these areas of liquidity. We do have displacement. Actually, I didn't even take a look at the 1 hour to see what is over there. Okay, loading is taking a lot longer than I'd expect for today. No imbalances here on the 1 hour. We do have an imbalance here. This right here is inducement, but this gap should still hold price down. What do we have here? This is not inducement because price, as you can see, the body's closed here higher. We do have a tiny gap here. So it does make logical sense for price to draw lower and rebalance any imbalances before price continues to draw higher. Yeah, let's stick to that. Let's go to the 15-minute. Okay, so yeah, this drawdown. Okay, so yeah, this is the gap here. Um, so maybe this area here. So I'm gonna leave that there. So now that price has already swept these highs, I do expect price to rebalance and then draw higher after that. So might get a market maker sell model here on the lower time frame. Here we go. Lower time frame, lower time frame. Sweep, sweep, consolidation, manipulation, expansion lower, followed by consolidation, manipulation, expansion higher. Actually, no, this whole side here is manipulation, consolidation, manipulation, expansion. So we are in the midst of an expansion, but on the lower time frames, I do want to see a manipulation lower, and obviously in the higher time frame, that's just a retracement for price to then draw higher. And this in itself is a market maker buy model, and we do have the short-term low here. Yeah, the intermediate term low here, long-term low here, and I do expect price to draw intermediate term low here to then draw higher. Same thing here. So let's just keep on watching. We do have, uh, let's see here. So as it stands right now, we do have this dealing range here. But again, I do expect this dealing range to remain. I don't expect this dealing range to get broken. Same thing here. Because what happens is once price draws into these lows, this won't no longer be the dealing range. It'll be whatever dealing range is a declining dealing range. And as always, I do like getting long on declining dealing ranges once I notice a good setup. So in the meantime, that's what I'm looking for. I don't see anything else. This is all low resistance liquidity runs because as you can see, none of these swept any of these lows. So I do expect these low resistance liquidity runs to get swept. And in that case, what I'm going to do is I am going to look for a 930 trade. We do have expansion overnight, Asia, London, um, New York. So it might be a seek and destroy type of day because we do have expansion overnight. And seek and destroy is when price takes out the highs and lows, consolidates, and then draws higher going into the afternoon session. Same thing here, expansion overnight, Asia, London, New York. New York just swept London, so logically we do expect a reversal for price to trade back into equilibrium or discount, whatever you want to call it, discount here. And then I do expect price to draw higher. So again, seek and destroy, meaning that price will target the highs and lows before price has enough liquidity to then draw higher. Okay. All right, so if I do take a short here, oh wait, yep. If I do take a short, it'll be on the lower time frames. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. Let's see here. Okay, so we do have expansion higher, sweeping these highs. We took out all of these liquidity highs here, liquidity highs. So again, I do want to see displacement, and then for me to get in on a gap. Uh, but what I don't want to, what I want to see is, because this, if this is the high, if this is the high going into the 9:30 open, then I do want to see. I want to get in on the intermediate term high, meaning that I want to see something like this, or not even like that, but maybe something like this, displace lower, and then I get in this one for the move down here. So that's what I'm looking for. I don't care if price is leaving tiny gaps here. The reason I don't care is because eventually, once price rebalances into these lows, I do expect price to uh, fill those highs up. So let's look into this right here, and let's see here. Okay, so now we have the displacement lower. All right, so let's see what price decides to do. Still no entry or anything of that sort. Let's take a look at the 2 minute. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Okay. What I'm thinking is that we do see quick SMT at the highs. And if we do, then I'll be looking to take a trade. So let me get ready for that. And I am most likely going to give ES a chance, ES the chance again, because again, for the open, NQ is just too volatile for me to be in, because it takes a lot of emotions to deal with that. All right, so we do have SMT where NQ swept the highs. ES hasn't yet, but let's see. Yo. Okay. Well, we have tiny SMT. I just hope it doesn't break this high. Not that I'm looking for SMT. It's just SMT is just an added tool for the concept I'm trying to trade. But right after the open, I do want to see displacement. All right, so it broke the highs. And actually, I do like the fact that price did trade into this gap here. So I'm gonna take a early one here. Yeah, I'm gonna take an early one here. Um, and my stop is 17.25. All right. And if price draws higher, then I got to cover it real quick. It'll be a quick. All right. All right. I'm gonna let it go. Oh no, there it is. That was it. Yeah, definitely not a good play. That's fine. I'll wait. All right, good. Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna, as soon as price closes below this block here, I'm gonna take it if price does that. And it looks like it's not gonna do that. All right, that's fine. What about this one? Still nothing either. Okay, so it looks like price is gonna continue to draw higher. I had wanted to catch a quick one here, but obviously we didn't get that, so I'll just let it go and just watch again. Yeah, I don't think price sweeps these highs, but if it does, then I will use all of this as a short opportunity for later. So, okay. The perfect setup would be if this leaves a gap. Okay, well, price continues to draw higher. Well, we have a tiny SMT at the highs, but if price sweep those highs, then my trade idea is on hold until the 10 o'clock macro. Okay. And we swept the opening of the New York Open, the New York session. Let's see what happens there with NQ. All right, looks like we're getting that retracement I'm looking for. So whichever one of these forms the sell side imbalance is what I'll look to. Preferably, I would like for ES to be the one. 20 more seconds. Okay, so no entry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect from data because I'm not seeing what I want to see yet. Uh, and if price continues to draw higher into these highs, then there's nothing for me to do. I just have to wait until price gets to my entry areas up here. And what do I want to see after that is this. I want to see a short term or an intermediate term high get drawn. On the hourly, we already have it to the left, but what I mean on the intermediate term high is on the 5 or 15 minute. Then I want that high to get swept. After that high gets swept, I want the reversal to occur, um, so I could get short. But as of now, there's no entry whatsoever. All of these lows are intermediate term lows, are low resistance. So that makes uh, that makes a more intriguing case for me to want to get short later on. And we do have a breaker here. So because I'm expecting a retracement, let's see if it happens. If it doesn't happen here, then I'll just disconnect real quick. Same thing here on NQ. We have a breaker here. So let's see how price reacts. The dealing range is still the same on the 15 minutes, so I'm not going to change that. And if this does turn out to be the breaker on the 1 minute, the first target would be these relative equal lows here, followed by these lows down here. But I have to see displacement. All right. Well, it's drawing higher, so I'm just going to disconnect from data here. And oh, that's nice. It was only a 1.25 point loss. I thought it was a lot higher, but I'm glad that it was only a 1.25 loss. So I'm going to disconnect now, and who knows? This might have been the breaker I was the entry I was looking into. But again, I don't like trading. I don't like trading the I don't like trading unless it's the during the macro. I tried the 930 and I was definitely wrong on that. The fact that I only lost 1.25, I'm surprised by that. I thought it was going to be like 3 or 4 points. Um, but I'm okay with that. So we'll see. Unless we get that retracement now without, let's see here. Okay, so I don't want these highs to get swept. I don't want price to sweep these highs and then come back. I want price to come back so that I can target these highs later on. That's what I'm looking for. Um, so I hope that these are the highs right here, or even if it goes a little higher, as long as it doesn't sweep these highs. If it creates relative equal highs, then that to me is the market tipping its hand to you saying, hey, this will be the target after price rebalances the imbalances. So that's what I'm looking for. And I hope that that's what we get going into the 10 o'clock macro. So yeah, I'll be back at 9:45. All right, I'm back, and as per usual, I always forget to do these. And looks like these won't be in play today. Yeah, looks like these won't be in play today. So, but I'll still put them on here anyways. 8:45. Yep, here we go. Yep, there it is. I think the best outcome I'm looking for is for price to draw higher, sort of like this. Because what that does is it creates so much imbalance to the sell side that eventually it's going to come down like this. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking to get in here so I could target these lows, all these lows over here. Yep, there it is. Okay. Nope, this is not it. 8:45. Yep, the New York Open. All right. And as you can see, this low, the initial morning low, the initial opening low, never swept these. So this in itself is still low resistance liquidity. So I do hope that the draw higher draws kind of like this right here, just one way without stopping, because again that creates a lot of imbalances, and eventually price will want to rebalance that area, and the down move could be just as aggressive. So it does look like we're getting that, and I'll stick to that. Um, I would like it to go down here. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect to data and see what's transpiring. Who knows? It might be a week again where 11 o'clock is where the play draws. So let's just do this here. Let's keep it lower. Okay. Actually, it'll let's go ahead and get rid of this as well because it's no longer a good play unless it was here. This would have been a good short opportunity, but I won't use that anymore. Okay. All right. So we do have this place lower now after we took these highs. So we should be targeting these lows here to target equilibrium down here. And we still have yet to break this high. So the targets will be the highs. But let's see if there's anything on the 1 minute here. Okay. All right, I see something here. I would like to get in here. Um, yeah. Yep, I would like to get in up here. Is there something here? Okay. All right, so either one of these I would like to get in so I could target these lows. So let's get it ready. Uh, they both swept. Actually, NQ didn't. So I would like to get into NQ. Let's go in 74.75. Yeah, there's SMT at the high, so I'm gonna go with NQ. Well, either or actually, whichever one hits my target entries first. But if there's no entry, then I just gotta let it go until price draws into the lows. And it does look like price is gonna draw lower, and that's fine. And since price has yet to break that low on the 4-hour gap, then it seems to be setting up for that. New low here. Okay, so I don't want this low to get broken. Um, and if it does, then this trade idea is over. And then I'll look for the longs. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay. Please, please. Oh, it doesn't. Looks like it's not going to happen. Oh, that sucks. All right, so it looks like that's going to go on without me. I'm okay with that. If it doesn't, then I'll be happy with that too, because then that means I get to get into my entry. Okay. Looks like I might get it. I have to stop speaking too soon. Let's see if this person's in a trade here. All right, looks like we're generating liquidity here, and that's fine. If price does, let's see, something like this, then that's a good sign for price to target the lows and then price to sweep these highs going into the, I guess, if it doesn't happen, I don't think it's going to happen during the 10 o'clock macro. It doesn't look like it. So I'm just going to keep note of that. But again, it would be very, very, uh, very good if I got in here. And I still hope I do, but if I don't, then that would suck. I don't see anything on the 15-minute that would cause price to draw higher at these lows. So no, I'm not going to listen to that. All right, so let me get an order ready here. 21. All right. And if I get into another one, it'll be, yep. I want to see if price draws higher and sweeps into this high over here, this tiny little gap, then then I'll wait for price to close the candle after it sweeps this highs, and then I'll get into multiple contracts. And my first target will be the New York Open, followed by the low here because it is above equilibrium. Technically, it should be up here, but I like this range, so wherever it is, whatever low I decide to take it, the range will be enough. And it looks like I'm not going to get that. Damn. Let's take a look at the 2-minute. Nothing on the 2-minute either. 3-minute. Damn, nothing. As long as this low does not get broken, I'm okay with. And on NQ, we do have a new dealing range now. It is from this high to this low because it did sweep this breaker here. Excuse me. But I do believe price has lower price to go. This is the 4 hour here. So I don't want price to draw into these lows until 10 o'clock. And I hope that doesn't happen. Damn it, it's happening. Darn. So yeah, we're probably going lower into these lows probably. Damn, it sucks that we didn't get an entry. Not even here. Not even here. Okay, so we swept these lows. All right, so this trade idea is over. I'm not looking to trade short anymore. And there was absolutely no entry. This would have been a good entry if this wick was not there, but obviously it is there. So just gonna let it go. I don't see anything else on the 1 hour. There's a tiny gap down. Yeah, there's a tiny gap right in this area here, but I like this gap better. Yeah. We have relative equal highs, lows here. All right, let's get rid of this right here. Yep, looks like I'm not going to get that entry, which is fine. I'll just keep watching. And we do have 3 minutes till the hourly closes. Looks like ES is going to leave off that gap on the 4 hour, so that's good. But NQ is not going to, it seems, because the 4 hour low, or the would-be gap, would be right in this area, right where it's at right now. Yep, the would-be gap has already closed, so I can go ahead and delete this. This could be an immediate rebalance on the 1 hour, but on the 4 hour, but I'm not looking at the 4 hour anymore because there are no gaps, so there's no reason for me to assume price will work a certain way. We're about to sweep this low, so that's good. Actually, we just did, right? Let's take a look at the 15-minute. 06.75, 08, 06.75, 06.50. Okay, so I just swept this low, so that means I can go ahead and add this lower short time dealing range. So if price reverses, then I'll be using this dealing range, this new dealing range, to look for a reversal. But since price has yet to draw into equilibrium, there's no reason for me to get in on anything. No gaps to get in on. ES. Nothing here. Nothing here. Okay, so I don't know. It looks like we still might have it, have an entry. So I'll still remain open to the possibility. Never mind. Oh, right, I forgot about the 10 o'clock news. Let's go ahead and close this because I don't need that anymore. All right, so that is SMT. But yeah, I'm not gonna get in here. I'm not looking for that. But what I am looking for is this right here. Okay. Okay. All right. Damn, we didn't get to move into this area. Shoot. All right. So hands off still. Okay. So yeah, this is where I want to get in. So let's just watch here. And on the 4 hour here, since price did close above that area, so now this right here is my area of interest on the on ES. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there. And we just traded into that gap. Okay. Okay. What the hell? Okay. So I want to see what price does once it trades into this gap here. With ES, I would like for this whole gap to get overtaken. I want this low swept. All right. Okay, so now I'm looking for some sort of displacement higher. Okay. All right. Still nothing. So if price is putting in this what do you call that? Oh wow, okay, there was an entry here. No, no, it wasn't because this right here is not. I didn't see this wick over here. So we are developing a wick here, and that to me means that on the 1 minute we're probably putting in some up close candles. So I want those up close candles to get swept, and then I would like for the reversal to occur. But if it doesn't happen at 10:10, then by 10:10, then I'm not taking anything. And the ES is still not swept equilibrium here, so that's not good for me. Technically, we did just put in a smaller dealing range, and again, that is the type of dealing range that I'm looking for, so I could get long. There you go. All right, so 64, 75. It's about 100 point risk reward. I think midnight open would be a good entry to risk and risk 50 points instead of the 100 minis. Similar to last week's play where I risked that much on one contract to gain 200 points. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the 1 minute. Now that the 1 minute's about to close. All right. Okay, I'm liking this. All right, I'm liking this. So I want to see price put in a gap right in the, yep, yep. I want price to put in a gap right in this area. All right. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking at right now. Okay. Yep, I'm liking this. What would the entry be here? Just as a starter. I'm not going to get in yet, but I am liking it. All right. I'm going to give it a shot here. I'm going to get in one contract here. So now I'm waiting for price to close above here. If we close above here, that's changing the state of delivery. And within this price range, I do want to see a gap get drawn. And I'll add more. So far, so good. But I am looking for this. I don't want to see any wicks up top. If I see things like this, then I got to get out because this might just be a fake up move for then price to run these lows. This right here is the breaker I was talking about on the 1 minute. So I do want to see. Okay, all right. So I don't like this close, but it's not bad either. So I want to see price put that in. All right. Okay. I want to see price slice, not slice through, but maybe sweep this high. Okay, that's good. All right, so now if price closes above this body, then either one of these could be a good entry into the long. So depending on what price does, I will look to get in, add some more. Okay, so we have that. Now what I'm looking for is a retrace into this area. I want price to retrace into this area so I could add. And if I don't get that, then that's fine too. I'll just look to get in at second stage or add to my position at second stage. And my stop as it stands right now is if price closes below this area. NQ is the stronger of the two. I guess I could have added an extra one here, but no, I'm looking to add down here. And if I don't get to add, then that's fine. And my target won't be this high. My target will actually be yesterday's high, which is 19378. All right, let's get an order ready to add here. 1-0. All right, I'm in an extra one right here. And if price draws into this gap, I don't want to see price slice through it. I want to see a wick get drawn in here, and then for price to draw higher. So that's what I'm looking for. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. I don't want price to close below this area. And it looks like I might get stopped. That's fine though. Any new low and I take it off because I'm not so convinced. I don't like the retracement. I don't like the fact that we retraced below consequent encroachment here. All right, so I do like that a little bit. Let's see how price trades. If price trades above this inverse here, then I'll look to add another one. I'm looking for fast price delivery, and I'm not seeing it yet. Let's go ahead and delete this right here. This should be green because it hasn't been traded through yet, but I'm anticipating this on being an inverse. All right. Yep, I don't like that. Okay, I don't have a good feeling about this, so I'm gonna cut it as soon as this low gets broken, if it breaks, and then I'll just have to try it again. Let's take a look at this right here. Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, damn it. Okay, I'm gonna take it off. I just don't like it. I don't like how it's behaving. Because I do see that it might look to target these lows once again. And we're past the macro. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Okay. Oh man, there it is. There it goes. Okay, so if it closes above here, then I'll get in again. All right. Okay, so I jumped in a few more. My stop is down here. Um, Even though the macro is almost over, I do want to see price close above here, and if it doesn't, then I'll look to get out. A couple more seconds. Oh no, I didn't close above. Okay, that's fine still. Um, okay, so yep, I'm in a few. I want to see what price does. So this is my stop right here. These lows here. They're micros, so I don't mind. I don't mind that. I don't mind having that type of stop. Um, I'm just gonna keep these here. All right. All right, so I'll let it go. If I get stopped, then I get stopped. Otherwise, that'll be it for the morning session. I do like that I traded micros. So if I'm right, then the micros will pay more than enough. If I'm wrong, then the micros will only offer me very little risk that I took today. Because again, I am looking for the big move. I'm not looking for a tiny move like I did yesterday. And we did close above this. Okay, so I'm liking that. And any close below this area and I get out. Okay, we are getting displacement, but I want it to displace above this area. Okay, so I like that close. Not as good as this one, but that's fine with me. I can go ahead and get rid of this. This is a 3 drive. I don't like that. So let me close. Actually, no, I'm going to wait on it. So now my stop is below this candle here. I don't want price to come back down here because this is a 3 drive pattern, which means price could target these lows now. On each one of these down move instances, we did trade into equilibrium, so we're still good. Let's take a look at what the 5-minute looks like. All right. Yep. I don't like that. I would like for this 5-minute to close up here. And if it doesn't, then I am gonna take it off. Yep. I'm not liking that. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off now. All right. So that's an okay win. Um, I mean, I made back what I initially lost with the micros, so I'm back to break even really. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect from data. Oh yeah, I am back to break even. I actually made more. So I'm gonna disconnect here. So okay, so the idea is still to maybe sweep one more time and then draw higher. Same thing with ES here. I do like the fact that we are creating lower highs here. That says that this could be low resistance liquidity runs going into the afternoon session or the 11 o'clock macro. So that's it for now. If I catch an entry, I am looking for the same type of price action. Same type of price action. Ideally, I would like these candles to not have any wicks above. I want flat tops. I want there to be flat tops so I could target the highs later on, going into the 11 o'clock macro. Yeah, so I think that's what's occurring. It's I think it was like 2 weeks ago I started targeting the better plays were actually at 11 as opposed to 10. So yeah, that's it for now. And if I get anything going into the 11 o'clock macro, I'll talk about it tomorrow during the morning session. But yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow.